Hallo und guten Tag. This is my second video about a very important subject, how to avoid stupid mistakes in your German text and exams. So I have been teaching German for the last about 25 years, and believe me, I know where students make mistakes. So let's get started. How are you going to avoid mistakes? If you are still on a very beginner's level, then first check my first video where everything is explained about the level A1. If you advance, then keep on watching. So the next level is A2, and that's going to be for instance, German 2. Well, it all depends what kind of course you have, but it's going to be valuable for anyone, I guess. So you go through different types of mistakes, and you always check only one sort of mistake. So a very typical mistake type is wrong adjective declination. Check all the adjectives. Do they have the right form? Also check that you don't change forms that can stay this way. So remember, die Frau ist nett, der Mann ist nett, das Kind ist nett. But if you put the adjective in front of the noun, then you have to adapt. Die nette Frau. Mistake type 12. Check the times that you use. Is simple present good enough? For instance, ich lebe seit 14 Jahren in Finland. There is no need for saying it in the present perfect. So is it the correct form? Is it an irregular verb? Do you need a form of haben, which is the normal case, or do you need a form of sein? And that's when you have verbs of moving or change. Mistake type 13. Check the position of the verb. So in normal sentences, always in the second position. If it's a separable verb, the tiny little part goes to the end, like in the sentence, ich kaufe Butter und Brot ein. So don't forget that little tiny part at the end of the sentence. In subjunctive sentences, the verb goes to the end. Ich kaufe Butter und Brot ein, weil der Kühlschrank zu Hause leer ist. Ich weiß, dass der Kühlschrank leer ist. Ist to the end of the sentence because it starts with weil. The next mistake type, number 14, is all about the building of the plural. So check that you have got the right plural of nouns. So you mostly have to learn them by heart. So-called international nouns often build their plural with S, also all nouns ending in A, I, O. So it is der Park, die Parks, das Sofa, die Sofas. So if you recognize the word and it's exactly the same in English, then chances are high that it's going to be with that one. There are, of course, exceptions, like the next category, der Computer. It's the same in English, but the plural is different in German because it belongs in the group of words ending in er, el, en, chen, and lein, because they have the same form in the plural as in the singular. So it is der Computer, die Computer, der Lehrer, die Lehrer, das Mädchen, die Mädchen, often with the vowel change though. So it is die Mutter, but die Mütter, 2 dots. A very common ending is either to put n or en to the word. So this is done with almost all feminine words, nouns of the n declinations, nouns ending in or. So der See, die Seen, die Blume, die Blumen, der Motor, die Motoren. Vowel changes are here very common. Also very common with nouns of all genders is to simply add German E. Der Hund, die Hunde, also sometimes with a vowel change. So it is der Arzt, die Ärzte. Quite seldom is the ending in ER, das Kind, die Kinder, And then we also have a few totally irregular forms like das Museum, die Museen, and der or das Virus, die Viren, and some others. Mistake type 15. Check the objects that you have used. Are they simple direct objects, that means accusative objects, or indirect objects, dative objects? In some sentences, they are both. A thing is in the accusative and the person is in the dative. For instance, in the sentence, ich gebe dir ein Geschenk. So the person you give the gift to is in the dative and the gift itself is in the accusative. Very typical mistakes in writing are spelling mistakes. So check the spelling of Mann, written with a small m, versus Mann with a capitalized M, and das versus das with two S. So you can add here also some other of your favorite spelling mistakes because everyone has some own favorites usually. Mistake type 17. Ask yourself if you need a reflexive verb. For instance, ich wasche mich versus ich wasche das Auto. So do you need this mich here, or dich, or sich, and so on? Check that. Mistake type 18. So especially for learners with a mother tongue that doesn't know articles, like in Finnish or in Turkish. So ask yourself, should you put an article and you forgot it? Sometimes also the other way around, that you have put one article and it shouldn't be there, but it's not so common. It's more the other way around, that you tend to forget the article. So, and then add some own favorite mistake here and incorporate it into the sentences. What do I mean with this? Well, you will see in a second. So, how are you going to remember all of this? Well, you form a sentence that incorporates all these rules. So go back to my first video and watch this video, and the first sentence from this is from the first video. Put down the sentence of A1 on your paper and add the checking sentence of A2, and I have marked this in yellow. So A1 check sentence is: Meine Lehrerin wohnt in Finnland und fliegt nach Deutschland. Checking sentence of A2 is: Sie hat ihrer Freundin ein Geschenk aus Finnland mitgebracht, weil diese das finnische Brot schätzt und man es in Deutschland liebt. So, these sentences you have to learn by heart. Of course, you can build your own sentence, but maybe it's easier if you simply want to give it a try via learning these sentences by heart. So you put them down and then you go through the different mistakes categories. So you mark the parts that remind you of the rule. Once you have answered all questions in an exam, you take the sentence and the two sentences in this case, and you stupidly go through all possible mistake categories, concentrating on one category at a time. So it means when you look at adjective declination, you are not going to pay attention to anything else. So you simply zoom through the text and just look for adjectives and simply check, are they in line? Are they okay? Are these forms okay? So it's the same basic system as in the first video. Your brain is not able to pay attention to several things at the same time. So concentrate on one mistake category at a time. So how you can apply the system of the checklist. When you advance, you can enlarge your checklist. So use possibilities to write text and have them corrected by the teacher. And this way you can add more of your favorite mistakes of yours to the list. course, you can also apply the system to other subjects and areas of learning. So the system is always the same. You collect favorite mistakes. You make a list of them. You incorporate them into a sentence that you learn by heart. You put the sentence down. You check accordingly in the exam situation. And this way you get rid of stupid mistakes. Celebrate. Comment below my YouTube video and share the system with your friends. Dankeschön.